For those wondering, yesterday we were casting the China qualifier, and it's always stressful casting being on the Chinese client. Always stressful.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more grateful that I have English to use now, but you'll never get me to admit that it's not a whatchamacallit, dumb language.
God, they're all dumb languages, mate. Okay.
They are. The languages are made up, mate. We should all just communicate in grunts and uggs. That should be an intro redemption. Non-verbal intro.
Yaku, there's a reason why you don't make decisions in the CranKy Ducklings, okay? God damn it.
But when it comes to decisions, this is a decision that was made, also not by me, as we load into 2000's Atmosphere LE for game number 1 of our best of 5 qualifying match here. In the top right hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top right hand corner, we of course have a pink Protoss player coming down from the land of Hong Kong, known many times as the Kong of Hong Kong. The Hong Kong Kong? No, the Kong of Hong Kong. But looking to fight that reputation a little bit in the upcoming season. He is representing the juggernaut Gogo Joey here in the chat for his boy. He is Bistork.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player himself. He is yellow, representing Susha. A streamer? Question? I don't know what is even happening in that image. What?
Mask and
he's got a gun.
Yeah, that's a Counter-Strike rifle.
Is he on a plate of food?
Is he being eaten? Someone's pointing at him. That can't be his own hand.
It is Shinobu. There you go.
I'm not sure if that's better or worse than the waifus.
It's a contender, mate. It's a contender. Meanwhile, I want to give a bit of a shout out to Gogo Joey in the chat. He is, of course, Bistork's teammate, his adopted brother, if you will, and he was also letting us know a little bit of history of the Taiwanese scene, letting us know that Little Wolf apparently is an older school player who used to be the dominant Terran before Expect.
I guess that goes to show how young we are, I suppose.
Yeah, that's before our time. Ever since we started casting ESL Pro Tour in 2020, and even the year before that, to be fair, I feel like when we thought of Terrans in Taiwan, it was always Expect for us.
Yeah, it was always Expect. A little while later, Nazin made a bit of a name for himself, and then Ares Rush kind of followed suit. But Little Wolf, I do recognize his name from a handful of qualifiers that we've covered in the past, but yeah, seems like he wasn't quite able to return to form until now in 2022.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure he was, like many others, he was here before time. He was in the era of Jim.
He was in the land before time.
Yeah, he was in the era of Jim back in the day. What I mean by that is, back in WCS, back when that was a thing, I imagine. So it's great to see him return, great to see him in form, and we'll see if he can keep on going. As, again, he's up against a very, very daunting opponent in Yoga. That series is being casted by Renegade X.
Check him out, twitch.tv/Renegade X Studios, as we have a fairly standard PvZ on our hands here.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting into what we know best here. We have a Stargate opener from the side of Bistork going for an Oracle first. A little bit supply block, so slipping up a little bit, but only for a couple of seconds. And as we can see, it is only for a single Oracle.
Oh, Void Race coming out after this with a quick transition to a Twilight Council. He's not going to be too committed here. He is going to be going for a pretty gateway-heavy mid-game.
Yeah, exactly. Just getting whatever damage you can with this Oracle. Did take a lot of damage, to be fair, but took out a little bit of lava, took out a morphing drone. Some damage was dealt, but with only a single Oracle, this is really more for scouting, less so for killing workers.
Yeah, just trying to keep Shinobu honest in a sense. He does scout the lair, and he prevents the scout in his main base. Well, not like that was too much to scout. I say that as Glaives is being researched.
Exactly, mate. Again, Bistork, one of the more aggressive players here. How many gateways are we going to see? At the moment, we only see 4, which is, again, pretty standard. It's more of like a macro glaive adepts. There's a third base behind this, of course. But if he does end up throwing down more, he's going to be that much more committed here. Bearing in mind that these glaive adepts are going to hit without a robo, without a war prism, so they're going to have to run across the map.
Yeah, it also means that Bistork isn't going to be too committed to this harass, but he still has to do damage to make it a worthwhile investment.
Exactly, because at the moment, Shinobu has no reason not to just drone. He's just been pumping out as many drones as possible. We should be seeing a 4th base relatively soon. There we go, 4th is on the way. There is a Roach Warren, but again, ideally here at Bistork, the goal of these adepts are to force units to maybe deal some damage and just keep the Zerg opponent that much more uncomfortable.
And Shinobu is feeling pretty dang uncomfortable after he scouts this. He's pulling every single drone off this third base. He's even getting a Spine Crawler. And that Spine Crawler gets killed, not cancelled.
Yeah, and with the death of this Spore, mate, the Void Ray can go to town on this base. The Queens are nowhere to be found. They're here at the Natural. Don't commit! He does commit to the Shade. The Lings get a full surround. It looks like these adepts are eventually going to get cleaned up, but drones are falling.
Well, exactly. I mean, that Void Ray is still going to town on that third base. He is going to be killing it very, very soon. He's focusing on these adepts right now. He is trying to target down as many drones as possible. He even gets a stasis ward on that in that main base. 14 drones have gone down. More to come. And this third base, let's not forget, it's getting low.
Oh, transfuse, puppy. We do have a couple last second transfuses. It looks like Shinobu's going to try and keep this base alive. He will shut down that Void Ray just in time. He keeps his third up, but not without losing 17 drones.
17 drones, plenty of lost mining time. Oh, Lord, okay, transfuses. I really thought the attempts were gonna finish it off, but nope, not quite. They're just gonna get a couple more drone kills. A Bistork, not the most committed tech switch into glaive adepts, but a tech switch that more than paid for itself.
Yeah, exactly. Shinobu was just being a little bit too greedy. After seeing the initial Void Ray opener, the initial Oracle as well, the last thing on his mind was Glaive Adepts. He didn't see it until it was already coming out across the map. He wasn't prepared. That's why he did evacuate this third base. All things considered, could have been worse for him, but enough damage was dealt where Bistork is looking ahead, and he is transitioning into Sky Toss.
Just like so. A lot of Void Rays on the way. Does he have the Fleet Beacon yet?
Ooh, not yet, not yet. Only triple Stargate, which I agree is a little bit odd. You'd usually see the Fleet Beacon by now. Oh my god.
Kill the Queen. It's pretty good. He is gonna be able to take out that third base finally. Void Rays back with vengeance, back to finish the job.
Yeah, Bistork just absolutely pulling Shinobu apart. Now Shinobu, again, he still continues to be down in workers, equal in bases. And I don't know how I feel about this. His answer is to go into Hydras.
Alrighty then, well. Not the worst idea in the world. We have seen players like Mika have a little bit of success still going for Hydra pushes against Sky Toss, but when you're playing from this far behind, I don't think your chances of that working are that much more.
Mate, the game may end before the Hydras come out. Like,
yeah, exactly.
The fourth base goes down, or I guess this was the new third base. All the Queens fell as well as they were being taken out earlier. They did not have enough energy to transfuse each other as they were transfusing the hatchery earlier, and now these Void Rays are getting out of control. Who needs a Fleet Beacon? Who needs Flux Veins?
Not this guy, apparently. All you need is beef.
Yeah.
Nowhere near enough anti-air for him at the moment. I mean, he just park these Void Rays here and they get damage regardless.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not enough Hydras. There's just not enough anti-air. GG gets cold and Bistork takes game number 1.
Nicely done.
Oh.
Definitely seems a little bit more confident in the PvZ matchup than the PvT one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think we can...
And that's a good reason for that.
I think we can both agree that Bistork's weaker matchup, maybe even weakest matchup, is PvT. So we've seen him struggle before. In the last qualifier, he lost to Nazin. Here, he had a harder time against Anemos. But now he is, where he's comfortable.
And speaking of comfort, he's going to Blackburn.
Oh boy, yeah, one of those smaller maps. You know, a decent map for something like Levidips as well, but after seeing it in Game 1, are we going to really see it again in Game 2?
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you know, what do they say? If it insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting it not to change. What's the opposite of that? Doing the same thing over and over again because it works.
Yeah. This man is not insane, Copium. Oh god, here we go, mate. Game 2.
And we are, of course, getting into Blackburn, LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We, of course, have a pink Protoss player from the land of Hong Kong. He is the Stork himself, the... What did we call him? The man with harpoon? No, that's Azure.
What?
I don't... I'm digging up my nicknames.
The Hype Killer, the Kong from Hong
Killer,
Kong.
The Kong from Hong Kong. I didn't want to repeat Kong from Hong Kong too much.
Okay.
The Stroker of Beef, representing the Juggernaut, the Nautical Army, otherwise known as the Navy. He is Bistork.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Blackburn ALE, we have his opponent, the Taiwanese Zerg player himself. He is yellow, currently down in the series, but again, it is a best of 5. We still have plenty more games where that came from. It is Shinobu.
Is that tempura?
I don't know. Does that... Can
I
anyone...
thought that was lettuce, but it might not be.
I thought it was lettuce. Can anyone in the chat tell us, like, what is going on here? What is happening in this clan decal?
From a certain angle, when you look at the head, because of where the characters are, it kind of looks like he has cat ears on.
It does actually. It looks like he has a hoodie with cat ears, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
But it looks like it.
He's being pointed at because he doesn't have cat ears.
Shaking my head, mate. Shaking my head. Yeah, I don't know. Is this Shinobu? Is this Azure? Is this a streamer?
Is this Susha?
Is this Susha? True! Oh, you're piecing it together, mate.
I had the wall of clues up.
Good. But yeah, very solid game there by Bistork. It was very well executed, the way he was able to pull off a couple of mind games, deceive his opponent, keep his opponent in the dark as well, and not really revealing his build until it was a little bit too late for Shinobu. Again, after that game, I'm sure he is now on notice. I'm sure he's going to be a little bit more aware and a little bit more adept at scouting.
I get it. He's going to be,
Yeah, he's going to be very stalker at scouting.
Yeah, he's gonna be very zealous.
Zealous,
there we go.
There you go.
Zealous. At that,
Be very...
He's gonna keep sentry.
He's gonna be very DT, mate. He's gonna... Oh god.
He's gonna be high Templar.
Stop. God. So this is what happens when we're in the middle of our DreamHack marathon. This is when the mind starts to elude us.
I also actually instead of what I normally do of slowly sipping a coffee throughout the thing, I already had coffee, and now I've already almost finished a cup of tea.
What? So mate, calm down, buddy.
I've almost finished a cup of tea.
Mate, we're already in the it's only been in like 30 minutes. Calm down,
Well, I finished my coffee because of JSL.
Okay, fair enough. Question mark.
Yep,
As mate, he's doing it again.
Yep.
Mate.
Definition of insanity.
You are in the mind of Bistork right now.
I'm not sure I want that, but I am, yeah.
What's important, though, is that this is quite different to the previous game. Looking at the openers, he did not go for a Stargate, he went straight into a Twilight Council instead, so the likelihood of this being scouted is higher because there is no anti-air, the Overlord is still alive, there's no Void Ray to hunt it down, and we can see, additional gateways being thrown down. Mate, we have 6 already.
This is a full-on commitment right now that Bistork is making. It's like adopting a pet. He really needs. He really needs this to work. Otherwise, he's gonna have to tap out.
Otherwise, he's gonna have to flush it down the toilet, mate.
Yep. There we go.
Oh god, here we go. War Prism is moving out across the map. Unfortunately, this Overlord is out of position, but he knows it's not a Stargate. Otherwise, there would have been an Oracle, there would have been a Void Ray. He knows it is a Twilight Council opener. Just a little bit in the dark about whether it is Glaive Adepts or DTs. Regardless, he's getting ready, throwing down spores again, just in case it's DTs. He does have roaches or Roach Warren on the way, but doesn't have it ready yet.
Oh, he hasn't been able to see this just yet. One more round of Adepts are being raided right now for Bistork. Nicely done by Shinobu, forcing a couple of warp-ins back at home instead of across the map here. But the Adepts are going to complete the shade.
Yeah, and there's no Lings, mate. There's no Lings. There's 2 Queens to hold the line, and with the mass amount of Adepts, these Queens are going to fall. And the Adepts, mate, they're going to get out of control.
He kills both of these Queens, didn't even have enough energy to transfuse. And now these Adepts, like I was saying, they're just running wild and free, doing whatever the heck they want.
Once again, Shinobu just not really respecting his lack of information, being a little bit too greedy, delaying so much, not getting the Lings when he needed them. He does get a decent round, but again, he just doesn't have enough Lings.
He's used up all of his transfuses, a handful of roaches coming out right now, but I think it's a little too late considering the fact that Bistork now has 16 Adepts out in the field. 12 drones have gone down. It's going to take a whole lot more than 8 roaches.
There's zero income.
To take this
there's
down.
literally
There's
zero
no
income.
at
This is every single drone. No! The drones are going down as well.
Round?
Oh my god, the roaches are finally coming out and they will be able to put up a decent fight here. But again, the economy is in shambles.
Yeah, Bistork's just avoiding the roaches left and right. GG is called and Bistork finds himself on match point already. I was a little worried for him after his first series, not gonna lie, Light, but turns out those worries were a little unfounded.
Again, 2 games in a row. To be fair, executed in a different way, but Glaive Adepts are the name of the game here for Bistork. Ay. Once again, you know, we didn't really have an amazing scout there.
Let's invite both of you back here.
Yes, as we are going to be loading the lobby. But yeah, we didn't really have much of a scout. Shinobu was in the dark. He didn't know what the hell was going on until it was just a little bit too late, man.
And too little. Commitment worked out.
Yeah, there you go, mate. There you go. Bistork, he takes care of his pets.
There's a reason why he's a stork.
There you go.
He delivers.
He does, mate.
That would be a good tagline though, actually.
It would, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god. See, every now and then, Yaku, you get a good one out, you know?
Yeah.
Oh god. And here we go. We are loading into game number 3, and hopefully this isn't where it all ends. Hopefully we are able to see more of a series out of this, you know? Hopefully our Zerg player is able to fight back.
Yeah, hopefully we don't end up with a 1-hour broadcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully, as we continue our series now on Pride of Altaris LE, where of course in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have a pink Protoss player coming out from the land of Hong Kong. He is the deliverer. He is the stork himself. Gonna be representing the juggernauts, that nautical army Calibre, who is not in chat. He is Bistork.
Oh my god. Because spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pride of Altaris LE, we have our Taiwanese Zerg player himself. He is yellow, representing Team Susha. It is Shinobu.
Is that fish?
That's like a shinobi, but it's a Shinobu.
Oh no, I meant the food in the background.
I don't.
Because at first I thought it was tempura, but now it's looking like.
Oh no, yeah, that could be like
fish.
Yeah, like fried fish, maybe.
Yeah, on a stack of lettuce.
Oh god. Yeah, here we go. Also, oh my god, massive shout out to Nazin. Nazin's in the chat as well. I feel like we're all converging here. It's great to see both Nazin and Gogo Joey. That's not gonna be the last we see of them because they're both gonna be in that closed qualifier.
Actually, Gogo Joey's a stage further.
Oh, true. Nazin's gonna be in that closed qualifier.
Yeah. But you know what? Maybe we'll see Nazin and Gogo Joey both in the main event, in the main regional.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed.
And then also maybe the main event, because, you know, we got an open bracket this time.
True, true. You know, or make Calibre can just fly them over, mate, to Valencia.
Yeah, Calibre can fly a player who's not on his team. Valencia.
You could just sign the play, you know. Just saying. Just oh god. But yeah, I don't know if you noticed when it comes to the very beginning of the game, Bistork was very, very annoying with this probe. He immediately made a beeline for the gold base, confirmed that there was nothing here, and did delay this third location a little bit longer as well. So yeah, just being a little bit annoying, but in the end, Shinobu will get his base up and running.
Yeah, Bistork is very well versed in the mind of Zerg. He knows exactly how a player like Shinobu would want to take advantage of the map. Just preventing it entirely. Shinobu is playing this out a bit more standard though, so he is just getting 3 bases, metabolic boost, not committing to any tech until he's able to scout what his opponent's doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about scouting here in ZVP. You have to figure out what the hell the Protoss is up to. Otherwise, you can just die, as we've seen already in this series. As the Adept tries to get in, but decent body blocking here by Shinobu does deny the Adept for the time being. And we can see that Bistork is opening up with a Stargate.
Have I told you the definition of insanity? It's not breaking things that aren't broken. There we go. That's the saying. Yeah.
There you go. I mean, hey, to be fair, he didn't open Stargate last game, so, you know, Bistork switching things up a little bit. But we'll see if he just sticks with the 1 Oracle again, or if he commits a little bit more.
Yeah, this is actually something else that may be worth wagering, as we do have another Oracle coming down. There's still a chance he throws down the Twilight Council and the Glaze, but less of a chance now that he is investing a lot more in his oracles. He is going to need to do a bit more than just scout with this. He definitely wants to get some drone damage.
Yeah, exactly. Bistork is going to have to babysit this first oracle a little bit more because he cannot afford for it to sustain too much damage here because they need to keep it alive a little bit longer. Meanwhile, Oracle does get into the natural base, and it looks like it will catch a couple of these transferring drones. Oh.
Interesting that Shinobu decided to, you know, saturate that third location at first instead of a more safe natural location. I know it was a little bit later, but it's done now, so.
Yeah, 3 drones go down. Not bad for the first Adept. Meanwhile, we do have a little bit of surround. It looks like the Adept may get taken out, but no. The second Oracle is here to defend that third base, and Bistork holds on.
Yeah, definitely wasn't expecting the second Oracle to stay at home, but it worked out for him pretty well. He utilized it in the defense, and we do see another Twilight Council coming down, but also a Forge. So now it's looking like Bistork's going to be switching things up a bit. Yeah,
Bistork is pushing the narrative, mate. He doesn't want to win every game with Glaive Adepts, otherwise he's going to get it nerfed. So instead, going for something a little bit different, the Forge does indicate that it should not be Glaive Adepts. With this, you go into +1 Blink Stalkers or +1 Charge. Due to the gases being taken here at the natural, I imagine it's going to be Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, that rulebook. We'll see. There is still definitely a place for Charge and Immortals here with these additional gases, but as he was saying, he did take them fairly early on, so there we go. Blink is on the way with +1 as well.
Oh, yeah, there it is. This is a very solid style again, has risen quite a bit in popularity. As all this was happening, 7 drones just went down, not just to Adepts, but also to these Oracles somehow, some way. With 1 HP, this Oracle survived.
And now it's regaining its shields. It cannot afford to be too reckless. I can still be a little bit reckless. Shinobu, I'm not sure about this, man. You don't really have a lot of creep here.
We have a Queen Walk from Shinobu. I mean, we'll see how this goes. As you were mentioning, Queens can no longer transfuse off of creep, and there's no Nidus, there's no Overlords, there's nothing to spread that creep.
The only thing Queens can do right now is provide extra DPS and maybe be a reliable form of anti-air, but there's no air units of Bistork right now. Shinobu does have a hell of a lot of units, but with good enough micro and static defense, I think Bistork can hold this.
May you say that, but the Lings are closing distance. They get a full surround on the army of Bistork. It looks like this third base is going to go down. Boys are being pulled. We have a couple of shield batteries. They're doing whatever they can to keep these units alive, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, this should just about be it. Shinobu catching Bistork just as he's about to, just in the middle of his transition.
Yeah, overcharge popped a little bit too late. They're just keeping probes alive, question mark, out of all things. Finally, we have another warp in of Stalkers. And again, they're just trying to slow things down. Bistork, he can afford to lose the third base. He's ahead in probes right now. Again, this was completely all in by Shinobu. But he's just not ready here at the natural. He's only just now throwing down shield batteries.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I'm not entirely sure if Bistork recognizes how insanely all-in Shinobu is being. He should be, seeing as how hard he is fighting back right now. Supplies are slowly evening out.
Ooh.
Once again, that lack of transfuse is hurting Shinobu a little bit, but he still has a very, 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 very scary army, and Bistork doesn't quite have the defenses he needs just yet. He knows that if he can hold this, then it's done. He's safe. But can he hold this?
That's a good question. I mean, the choke point is working very well here for Bistork. With the power of the Immortal, he actually is forcing this back. Bistork is holding.
He just took out 20 supply worth of the Zerg army. Look at that. It's 27 against 30 now. He loses that third base. But that's completely fine because he's still ahead in workers.
Yeah.
Shinobu was all in.
Oh my, this one Immortal, it was crazy. He's cracked, mate. He got like 9 kills, and that was Queens and Roaches, by the way. Ling, sure, they closed the distance, but I mean, Shinobu has run out of steam.
He's run out of steam. He has no escape. And I'm not sure if Bistork should counterattack. He wants to. Actually, what am I saying? He absolutely can counterattack with these Stalkers. He has Blink. He has +1. He doesn't need to kill Shinobu in a counterattack.
Yeah.
He doesn't even need to commit to the counterattack. He can back out at any point.
Like, Shinobu just doesn't really have much at all. He was very committed. He lost all of his queens. As we do have the Stalkers moving out across the map. Yeah, Shinobu knows he cannot defend. He just gives up his third base.
An eye for an eye, as they say. And this is going to hurt Shinobu a hell of a lot more than hurt Bistork.
Exactly. Getting a little bit supply blocked here. Reinforcements are on the way, so Bistork has to be a little bit careful not to overcommit. But again, he has Blink. He has the micro. Like, he can just trade for days.
Yeah, worst comes to worst, he just recalls out, but he's not even going to need to recall.
Yeah, instead he just clears up the creep highway here in the middle of the map. We see charge on the way. Third base is being retaken for Bistork. The economy has evened up, which means, again, it is a little bit better for the Protoss player. Shinobu, he didn't really have too many upgrades going for him. The only thing he has is the hidden Spire in the main base.
Yeah, and Bistork is taking into robo units now, so a muter transition from here can absolutely catch him off guard. It does take a while to get to that point, though. And, yeah, I'm kind of worried for Shinobu if Bistork is able to kill him before that.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. I mean, for the time being, Shinobu, it looks like he does have a reasonable force. Like, these Stalkers shouldn't be able to overwhelm this anytime soon. But supply blocked once again. 5 Overlords on the way. Some Laser Lords coming out from Shinobu. Again, his economy is still not amazing either.
Yeah, on top of, being a little bit lacking when it comes to drones and whatnot, he's also lacking in larva now.
Yeah.
So his production is being stifled in just about every dimension. Just about every aspect. Not dimension.
Both this. Why not, right?
in the shadow realm.
In the shadow realm. He's supply blocked.
Production is in the shadow realm.
Oh, God.
Yep. That's where we're going with this.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, here we go. The Spire has finished up. Mutas are going out across the map. Bistork has not scouted this, by the way. He has no idea that mutas are a thing. So this could catch him off guard. What are the fences looking like back at home? We do have Blink Stalkers here at the third, but the main looking pretty exposed.
Yeah, not too many Stalkers at that. Plus, they're all bunched up together, so they're not going to be able to intercept the Mutalist. Bistork has to make a choice, and he is going to... That choice is to defend for now.
Ooh, exactly, a little bit of an all-army hockey there, but the mutas are still here, active in the main base. He did take a little bit of time, though, so we do have a warp in here for Bistork, and it looks like he is pushing this away.
Wow. I really thought Shinobu did a fantastic job of surprising Bistork, but in that 1 second, when the Mutalist popped up, Bistork was like, alright, I know what I need to do. And then he did it. That's what happens when you're teammates with Gogo, Joey, Ender, and Neo Micah.
Yeah, he just warps in defensive stalkers. He gets his stack defense up and running, cannons, shield batteries in every single base. He is perfectly fine. But Shinobu, oh my god, 16 drones being built at a time. He is looking to catch back up in economy.
Yeah, he needs to escape Shadow Realm.
He does, mate. He needs to get the hell out of there, mate. Oh my god. He knows. Screw the rules. He needs money. And he doesn't have it yet, but he's working on it.
Yep, just like Yu-Gi-Oh! You win by having money. Anyway, yep. These Mutalisks, you know, despite being scouted, they're doing a fantastic job of keeping Bistork back. Bistork, he's got +2 now. He wanted to move out minutes ago, or seconds ago. But he can't. He needs to deal with the Mutas.
Yeah, he's stuck at home. Like, his army is getting larger and larger, but he just can't really make use of it. Also, Yaku, not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna go into a rant about Hearthstone again.
Can I?
No.
Are you allowing me to?
No, I'm not. You're like,
you
I will. I'll do it. I'll do it, man.
Are you allowing me to spend the rest of this game and then 45 minutes after the game ends?
Alright, here we go. Bistork is pushing out across the map. He doesn't just have Blink Stalkers, doesn't just have these Disruptors, also some Archons as well, so it's going to be so difficult for even the Mutas to engage here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if Shinobu gets us around and is able to snipe the Disruptors early on, but I'm not sure how he's gonna do that when he doesn't have the army supply and doesn't have the upgrade and doesn't have the equal upgrades.
Yeah, he knows that.
Counterattack.
Yeah, he cannot fight that main army. He goes for a base trade instead. Goes across the map with all of his Lings, the majority of his Roaches, and his Mutas as well. Overcharge is being popped, and again, Bistork had some reinforcements back at home, so he is trading nonetheless. And we have a recall.
May as well. This base is not even going to go down. Only 2 probes died throughout that entire counterattack, mind you.
Meanwhile,
the worker counts are even. Really good vials, but even better purification novas. I mean, there's just no way Shinobu can turn this around, right?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe if Bistork left his couple of units a little bit too idle across the map when he recalled, maybe Shinobu would be able to fight half the army and then the other half, but we just saw Bistork dominated both defensively and offensively. He just sniped 2 bases. GG gets called! And Bistork, he does it. He takes the series 3-0.
Despite honestly a pretty shaky beginning to the evening, Bistork is going to be your 3rd player and the first player from tonight qualifying for the close qualifiers of DreamHack Masters Valencia 2022 regional Taiwan-Hong Kong regional main event. Or no, close qualifiers. No, wait, but it's a close qualifiers for the main event.
There you go. He makes it. He makes it to the close qualifiers. He came so close in qualifier number 1, where he went all the way to the ace match against Nazin, and he almost got taken out here as well in qualifier number 2. But Bistork, he makes it through in the end. He will be there, looking to join his brethren Gogo Joey in that main event.
Yeah, his fellow Lokinson.
Oh god, and yeah, that was honestly quite a series. Again, Shinobu, he didn't look too bad, especially this game, right? Like, I was really caught off guard. There's a reason why, like, we didn't really talk too much about the massive amount of queens that he was making, because the last thing I was thinking was a queen walk, you know? We don't see that anymore. Or if we do see it, it is paired with a way to spread creep so we can actually see transfuses, and he just went for it anyway.
Yeah, Dropper Lords who, you know, transport the queens and immediately start throwing down creep. Earlier Queen Highway, or even, you know, or even Nidus. It's a little bit more out there, but yeah, in some form, Shinobu was banking a lot on just the sheer DPS boost that the queens could provide, especially if Bistork had a Warp Prism or something. It would be extra important to have those queens, but he may have underestimated the impact of transfuse in engagements like that. I cannot tell you how many PvZs in the past were won off the back of very timely transfuses.
Yeah.
When doing queen walks like that.
I think we can both agree that if this was the previous patch, like, Shinobu would have won that game. Like, if he had the power of Transfuse, he 100% would have broken Bistork. But at the same time, I'm also very impressed that he made it as close as it was. He almost broke him, you know? Bistork made a miscalculation. Yeah, and he was committing to a fight at the third base, where he lost a lot of army there. He lost a third, he lost all his probes. Like, he was being broken as natural as well. Like, that was a very, very tight hold. But Bistork, he never gave up. Even if some of us did, right? Even if some of us were starting to lose some faith. Nah, mate, he did not.
Yeah. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! No, wait, that's Bistork for you. Hey, Calibre in the chat here to cheer for his boy. Yes, both of the Juggernaut players from Hong Kong will still be in this event. So definitely plenty to look out for here if you're a fan of the Juggernauts. The other I keep thinking that there's a fifth Juggernaut, but no, there are only 4. So the other 2 Juggernauts will not be in this event, but should one of them anyway, because I think Mio Micah is seeded directly. Ender should be playing tomorrow if anybody's interested in that, in the Juggernauts.
Yeah, exactly. The DreamHack Oceania qualifier is going to be tomorrow, which means the teammates of Bistork are going to be competing there as well. Namely, Ender will be looking to try and qualify for the closed qualifier of Oceania. Yeah, only Ender. So yeah, it's going to be a brutal qualifier is what I will say. There's going to be a lot of big names, a lot of really tough opponents. It's going to be a bloodbath, and of course, it will be here on the CranKy Ducklings.
Yeah. But before that, of course, I guess we have a decision to make here, Light. Because we do still have a couple of matches here in the bracket. They are currently being covered by Renegade. So we have a decision that we can make right now.
Oh, yeah. Exclamation mark be in the chat, people, if you want to have a look at the brackets. It looks like the upper half of the bracket has been relatively slow. Or we've been fast, I think is a better way to put it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we had some quick series, all things considered. So Renegade, he is still covering Yoga versus Little Wolf, and the winner of that series still has to go up against Dreamer. So my question too is, Yaku, do we want to end the stream early, or do we want to try and cover the upper series as well?
We could give love to Renegade here. Or we could also continue and whatchamacallit.
Yeah, it's we're in a kind of an awkward position. Yeah, an awkward position.
Yeah, there's still time before NA tomorrow.
There is plenty. I mean, again, it's pretty early. Like it's been
1.5 hours.
Yeah,
I don't think it's even been 1.5 hours actually.
Yeah, it's been less than that. Like, we've been live for 1.5 hours, but like I also went live earlier. You know, we had the countdown timer. Yeah. Like, it's, oh boy.
Yeah, we had to figure out seeding, so there was a slight delay at the start. You know, and of course we had to play the graphic, or not the graphic, the intro. So, you know.
Yeah, it was quick, mate. It was quick.
Wait, what? I like how you, by the way, I like how you're asking me what we want to do after telling me I'm not allowed to make decisions.
No, it's getting your opinion on what you thought, mate. Shaking my head.
Yeah, there's a difference, you know, between sharing an opinion and making a decision.
There is. Oh god. Meanwhile, I'm just getting confirmation here. A couple of interesting things. If you remember, Gogojoy was letting us know that Little Wolf used to be the dominant Terran player. But looking at Renegade's stream, and I was also noticing in Game 1, Little Wolf is actually playing Protoss.
Interesting. He's playing Protoss and is currently up 1-0 as well.
Yeah. I think he saw the light, mate. I think he he's like, mate, why do I keep trying, you know, playing Terran? Let me just switch to Protoss, and just like that, up 1-0 against Yoga. It's going to be a massive upset if Yoga gets knocked out here, like, or not even in a qualifying match.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a bit of a crazy prospect to think of, but that could happen. Yeah, Little Wolf, maybe the dark horse coming in, you know, the returning retiree, looking to maybe qualify. Because I'll be honest, I'm not too familiar with. Are you familiar with Dreamer, the other player waiting in the qualifying match?
Not Dreamer.
Hmm.
Toss.
Not Dreamer Toss. No, it's a different player.
Yeah, that's it. The name sounds familiar. So let's see. Yeah, obviously Taiwanese Terran player. Played in the qualifiers for. Played in all the qualifiers in 2020. That's where I get the name from.
Hmm.
But yeah, other than that, hasn't really had that much to write home about.
Yeah, he did not playing in 2020. I don't think he's never made it into the main events, but he's always been there, in those qualifiers. I guess he took a little bit of a break. 2021 was a little bit less active.
He played in a 3v3 tournament with a bunch of other who did he play with? With Xiao Bai and Nice.
There you go. Oh boy. But yeah, I guess we'll see and wait until their series opens up. Is that?
Yeah, we can wait and see.
Okay. So
there's plenty to fill time with, like Hearthstone.
there is. Oh god! If you're in the chat, if you want to tune in to the series between Yoger and Little Wolf that is currently going on Renegade X Studios, make sure to check
that. Suppose.
And make sure to check them out. In the meantime, we're going to go on a little bit of a break. And when we come back, hopefully we'll have some more StarCraft.
Yeah, stay tuned.